The sign of the shiver. Why does your body tremble when a certain person enters your house? Have you ever felt that inexplicable shiver when a specific someone enters your house? That strange sensation that climbs up the spine, that makes you literally tremble inside, and you cannot understand why. If you are watching this video now, it is because this has already happened to you, and I will explain exactly what is going on. In the next minutes, you will discover why your body reacts in this way even before your conscious mind processes what is happening, and more importantly, what this physical reaction is trying to warn you about this person and about yourself. Stay with me until the end, because this information can completely change the way you choose who you let into your life. Let us go straight to the point. This shiver you feel is not a coincidence, it is not nonsense, and it is definitely not something in your head. It is your body doing exactly what it was designed for, to protect you. And it does this milliseconds before your rational mind can analyze the situation. While you are still trying to be polite, offering a little coffee, smiling and making conversation, your nervous system has already identified that there is something wrong there, and it is screaming at you through this tremor, this cold in the belly, this inexplicable urge to run away. Now let me ask you a very direct question. How many times have you ignored this signal? How many times have you felt this shiver, this discomfort, but thought to yourself, "No, it must be my impression. I am judging too much. I need to be more open, more receptive." And then, weeks or months later, you discovered that your intuition was right from the first moment, that that person really brought trouble, brought heavy energy, brought drama into your house and your life. Well then, this video is precisely about that. Before continuing, if you are liking this content and want to receive more videos about self-knowledge, spirituality and personal development, subscribe to the channel and activate the little bell. This helps the channel grow immensely and motivates me to bring more and more quality content to you. And leave a comment down here telling if you have already gone through this, because I love to read your experiences. Let us first understand what is happening at the physical, biological, scientific level. Your body has a system called the autonomic nervous system. This system is responsible for everything that happens automatically in your organism without you needing to think. Breathing, heartbeat, digestion, body temperature. Within this system there is a very important division, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic is the one that prepares you for action, to fight or fly. The parasympathetic is what relaxes you, puts you in rest and digestion mode. When someone enters your space and you feel that shiver, that tremor, what is happening is an instantaneous activation of your sympathetic nervous system. Your body is entering a state of alert. And why? Because it detected a threat. But wait, you might be thinking, but it is just my cousin who came to have a coffee. It is just that friend from school days. It is just my daughter's new boyfriend. Exactly. It is just. But your body does not lie. What happens is that your organism captures information that your conscious mind has not yet processed. You know that expression, reading between the lines? Your body does this all the time, only at an absurdly higher speed than your rational brain. It reads facial micro-expressions, tone of voice, body posture, even the scent the person emanates through pheromones. All this in a fraction of seconds, and when something does not match, when the signals are not coherent, when there is an incongruity between what the person says and what they transmit, the alarm goes off. Researchers from the University of São Paulo conducted studies on threat perception and discovered that our reptilian brain, the most primitive and ancient part of our brain, processes potential dangers up to 200 milliseconds before our consciousness perceives them. 200 milliseconds. This means that your body is already reacting, is already trembling, is already shivering, while you are still thinking whether or not you should trust the person who just entered. But there is a deeper layer to all this that science is still beginning to understand, and that spirituality has known for thousands of years. Energy. You know when you say this person's energy is heavy? It is not a metaphor. It is not a way of speaking. It is literal. Each human being emits an energetic frequency, a vibration, and this vibration is the result of thoughts, emotions, intentions, and even the life history that that person carries. When someone with a very dense, very low, very heavy energy enters your space, which is your sanctuary, your house, your home, a clash of frequencies occurs. Imagine it as if it were a tuned guitar playing next to an out-of-tune one. There will be dissonance. There will be discomfort. Your energetic field, which inside your house is in a state of harmony, of balance, of coziness, suddenly encounters a completely different field, and your physical body, which is the vehicle of this energetic field, feels this shock. From there comes the shiver, the tremor, the strange sensation. And look, this does not mean the person is evil. Sometimes they are just going through a very difficult moment, carrying much pain, much resentment, much envy, much fear. And even if they are not conscious of it, even if they think they are hiding it well, their body is emanating all that, and your body is capturing it. The question is, what do you do with this information? Here is the big problem I see happening with most people over 35, 40 years old. We were raised in a culture that teaches to ignore the signals of the body. Especially if you are a woman, you were taught to be sympathetic, polite, receptive, not to judge, to always give the benefit of the doubt. If you are a man, they taught you to be rational, logical, not to let emotions or weird sensations guide your decisions. Result? We spend years, decades, completely ignoring the intelligence of our own body. Let me tell you a real story that perfectly illustrates this. Maria, 52 years old, living in Belo Horizonte, sought me out after going through a very complicated situation. She had a childhood friend who reappeared after 30 years. In the first meeting at Maria's house, she felt exactly that, a deep shiver, an inexplicable discomfort. But she thought, no, we are childhood friends. I must be finding it strange because it has been so long. She completely ignored the signal. This friend began to frequent her house regularly, and each time she appeared, Maria felt physical malaise, headache, extreme tiredness, an urge to cry without apparent reason, but she continued ignoring. After all, the friend was always sympathetic, brought little gifts, spoke beautifully, until strange things began to happen. Objects disappearing, Maria's conversations being repeated to other people in a distorted way. Gossips, intrigues, manipulations, and the worst, financial problems that arose out of nowhere right after this person began to frequent the house. When Maria finally had the courage to distance this friend, it took months for the energy of the house to stabilize again. She told me, I knew since the first day. My body warned me, but I did not want to believe. How many Marias are out there right now, ignoring what the body is screaming? Now let us talk about another fundamental aspect of all this, resonance. You only resonate with that which exists inside you. If a person enters your house and you feel that shiver of discomfort, of fear, of repulsion, you can be sure that they are activating something inside you. It could be an old wound, it could be an unresolved trauma, it could be a pattern that you still carry and need to heal. For example, if you grew up in a family where there was betrayal, lies, falsehood, and someone with these characteristics enters your house, your body will recognize that pattern immediately. Even if consciously you do not perceive it, your unconscious will identify the same subtle signals that you learned to recognize in childhood as danger. And it will trigger the alarm. The shiver is the alarm ringing. This is extremely important to understand because it means that this bodily signal has a dual function. First, to protect you from a real external threat. Second, to show you where you still need to work internally. It is a mirror. The person who causes you this shiver may be reflecting a part of you that you have not yet healed, that you have not yet integrated, that you still reject. And here enters a very important distinction that you need to make. There is the shiver of genuine danger, when the person really brings a destructive, manipulative, vampiric energy. And there is the shiver of shadow recognition, when the person shows you something of yourself that you do not want to see. How to differentiate? By what comes after the shiver? If along with the shiver comes anger, repulsion, an urge to distance, it is probably a shadow of yours being mirrored. If along with the shiver comes deep sadness, exhaustion, a sensation of emptying, it is probably genuine energetic vampirism. If along with the shiver comes fear, an urge to flee, a sensation of imminent danger, probably your protection system is identifying a real threat. But in all cases, the message is the same. Pay attention. Do not ignore. Your body is speaking to you in a very clear language. The problem is that we have unlearned how to listen. Let me give you an interesting datum. A research conducted by the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro with people over 40 years old showed that 87% of the interviewees reported having already felt strange sensations in the presence of certain people, but only 23% admitted to having acted based on these sensations. That is, the vast majority felt, perceived, but ignored, and when asked if they regretted having ignored, 92% said yes. This shows how we are completely disconnected from our own bodily wisdom. And the price we pay for this is extremely high. Toxic relationships that prolong for years, disastrous partnerships, businesses that go wrong, situations of abuse that could have been avoided if we had paid attention to the signals the body gave from the beginning. Now let us talk about solution. How can you reconnect with this intelligence of the body? How can you begin to trust these signals again? First step, validation. Stop invalidating what you feel. If you felt the shiver, it is real. You are not crazy, you are not inventing, you are not exaggerating. Your body detected something. Period. This is a fact. Validate this. Second step, investigation without judgment. Instead of blaming yourself for feeling what you feel, investigate. Okay, my body reacted like this. What specifically in this person or in this situation is generating this reaction? Is it the tone of voice? Is it the look? Is it the way of moving? Is it something they said? Is it something they did not say but I felt? Observe without judging. Just observe. Third step, conscious action. After validating and investigating, take an action. It does not need to be dramatic. You do not need to expel the person from your house screaming, but you can, for example, shorten the visit. You can avoid very personal subjects. You can create a healthy distance. You can simply decide not to invite this person again. Or if the person lives with you or is part of your family, you can establish clearer limits. You can protect your space more. You can do an energetic cleansing after they leave. Fourth step, and perhaps the most important, internal work. Use this shiver as a teacher. Ask yourself, what is this person showing me about myself? What wound are they touching? What fear are they activating? What pattern are they revealing? And work on that. Therapy, meditation, family constellation, therapeutic writing, whatever works for you, because the more you heal internally, the less you will attract or be affected by destructive energies externally. There is a very powerful exercise that I want to share with you now. It works like this. The next time you feel this shiver in the presence of someone, instead of trying to ignore or rationalize, do the following. Place both hands on the heart, breathe deeply 3 times very slowly, and mentally ask your body, what are you trying to tell me? What do you want me to know about this situation? And stay in silence. Just listen. Do not force an answer. Just allow the information to come. Most of the time, if you really stay in silence and receptive, a word, an image, a sensation, a memory will come. It could be something like danger, lie, envy, manipulation. Or it could be something like mother, father, ex-husband, showing that this person is activating an old pattern. Whatever comes, thank the information. Thank your body for protecting you, for guiding you. You know what happens when you begin to do this regularly? You develop a deep confidence in yourself. You stop depending on the opinion of others to know if a person is trustworthy or not. You stop feeling guilty for not liking someone that everyone loves. You understand that your body has an internal GPS much more precise than any rational analysis. And look, this does not make you a closed, suspicious, or paranoid person. On the contrary, when you trust your internal signals, you feel safer to open up with the right people. You stop wasting energy trying to force connections that are not healthy. You start to cultivate genuine, light, nourishing relationships. Your house becomes truly a sanctuary because you only let in those who resonate with your energy. There is an ancient wisdom that says, your house is the reflection of your internal world. If your house is full of people who make you feel shivers, discomfort, malaise, it is because your internal world is not yet aligned. There is still healing to be done. There is still a pattern to be broken. There is still a limit to be established. and that is fine. We are here precisely for that, to evolve, to learn, to heal. But from today on, you have a choice. You can continue ignoring the signals of your body, continuing to receive in your house people who drain your energy, who bring trouble, who lower your vibration, or you can begin to honor these signals, to respect the wisdom of your organism, to protect your sacred space with consciousness and firmness. Let me give you one more very common practical example here in Brazil. Do you know that situation of the visitor who never leaves, who arrives in the middle of the afternoon and is still there at 11 at night? That you have already given all the social signals that you are tired, but the person does not capture or pretends not to capture? Well then, if you feel that shiver when this person arrives, if you feel that tightness in the chest, that exhaustion just thinking that they are coming, your body is telling you, this person does not respect your space, does not respect your time, does not respect your energy. And you need to establish a clear limit. But we are afraid to do this because we were taught that establishing a limit is a lack of education, is selfishness, is malice. So we endure, support, smile, while inside we are screaming, "Go away." And guess what happens? The body begins to somatize. The back, the head, the stomach begin to ache. Inexplicable diseases begin to appear. Because the body is literally defending itself from the energetic invasion that you are consciously allowing. Now I want you to understand one very important thing. Protecting your space is not selfishness. Trusting your intuition is not paranoia. Choosing who enters your house is not judgment. It is wisdom. It is self-care. It is self-love. You do not owe an explanation to anyone about who you feel good receiving in your home. Your house, your energy, your body are yours. And yours alone. If you enjoyed this video and it made you reflect, leave a comment here telling, have you already felt this shiver? How did you deal with it? I read all the comments and love to exchange experiences with you. And do not forget to like the video and share it with that person who needs to hear this message. One last thing that I think is fundamental to say. If you live with someone who causes you this shiver constantly, be it a husband, wife, adult child, family member, the situation is more delicate and deserves special attention. Because then, it is not a visitor who goes away. It is someone who shares the same roof as you. In this case, the internal work and the establishment of limits need to be even deeper. It may be necessary to seek professional help, couples therapy, family mediation, because living in a constant state of alert inside one's own house is unsustainable and will make you sick sooner or later. What I want you to take from this video is the following. Your body is the most sophisticated instrument of perception that you have. It was developed over millions of years of evolution to keep you alive, keep you safe, guide you in the right choices. When you feel that shiver, that tremor, that strange sensation in the presence of someone, it is not a system failure. It is the system working perfectly. The question is, will you continue ignoring and paying the price for it? Or will you begin to listen, to trust, to act based on this ancestral intelligence that lives in each cell of your body? The choice is yours. It always was, and it always will be. But now at least, you know what is at stake. One last reflection for you to take. How many times have you already heard someone say or have said yourself, I knew there was something wrong, I felt it from the beginning? Well then, you knew. You always knew. The body always warned. The question is, next time, will you listen? If you want to deepen more into these subjects of self-knowledge, energy, spirituality, applied to daily life, subscribe to the channel because every week I bring new content to help you on this journey of awakening and healing, and activate the little bell so as not to miss any video. Your evolution depends on the choices you make today, now, in this moment, and trusting your body is one of the most powerful choices you can make. Thank you very much for having watched until here. This shows that you really are committed to your growth. I see you in the next video. A hug and see you soon.